Okay, I'm back. I was just waiting for one of my clients to log in. He's been having Zoom issues, couldn't hear him. But while I was waiting for him to log in, I thought I'll just kind of share with you what I do as a coach to prepare myself before every coaching sessions. I've been coaching for the last 10 years and I've got thousands and thousands of coaching sessions. But for me, this has been constant throughout is to prepare myself before any coaching session, no matter who I'm coaching or how well I know that person. For me, before I put the coach hat on, I need to clear myself, clear my thoughts, clear the emotions that have been present, or any residue tasks that I'm carrying forward. And how I do it is I take 10 minutes just before the coaching session. I just shut down everything, my WhatsApp, my email, my phone, and just take a couple of deep breaths, just breathing in the present moment. And then I open my notes of my coachee, the person I'm going to coach, and just go through all the notes that I've taken of the conversations I've had in those sessions to reconnect to the journey, to reconnect the aha moments, to see if there's any threads that or any dots that's being connected. And that's how I prepare to be completely in zone to be with that client for the next hour or so. And when the client comes on, it's only him or her in that session. I'm no longer present as an entity. I'm present as a coach to enable support their conversation, their journey, their awareness, their breakthrough in those sessions. And then after I finish the session, how I close my session is, of course, I take down my notes, how the session has been, what's been said and discussed, and of course, what was my instincts and intuition that came up in that session, so that I could probably use that in future sessions if it's relevant. So that's how I prepare myself as a coach before I get into a session and what I do in the closure. And that's served me so far in terms of just catching on to conversations, to aha moments, to insights, just because I've been able to bring myself in the zone and be present in that conversation. So these are some of my quick tips. So how I prepare myself before a session. I hope they've served you as well, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.
So, can discipline and flexibility coexist? I ask this question because sometimes I find myself in conversations with clients who I'm coaching struggling, working through their goals, working through their commitments, working through things that they've decided that they want to do. Something as simple as taking care of their health, or setting a target or a goal for themselves for their business, or just putting a personal goal for yourself. And the struggle that I find them facing is not being able to go through exactly what they've decided they're going to do each and every day as a ritual, as a practice. And while that level of discipline may work for some people, and that's great, but for many others, that may not. And in one such coaching session, I found myself saying this to my client. And as I said it, it just popped up in my head. And I said it, and a light bulb went off because I just felt that it was quite relevant for me as well. And what I really told my client was this. I said, you've got to be disciplined about your what and flexible about your how. Which really means that once you set a goal for yourself, be fixed on that, be clear on that. But if you're flexible about how you're going about achieving it, if you're doing things differently once in a while, that's absolutely fine. As an example, you want to become healthier, and the one way to do it is to go for a run every morning or go to the gym every day. The other way to do it is to play a sport a day, to go for a walk on another day, is to go for a run another day, and doing different things. So have flexibility in your how, but be disciplined about your what. So as you go out there and set up your goals or think about the goals or things that you want to do, try using this approach. and see how that goes for you. All the best.
Hello, everyone. I've been hearing and reading so much on how leaders should behave in these trying times and crisis time, what they should be doing for their team, for their organization, and what great leaders are. This video is not for leaders. This video is for all of you who have leaders that you look up to, or you report into, or you have in your organization. This is for you to do something for them. It's not easy being a leader. It's not easy, especially navigating through crisis, to making those critical, important decisions, to looking at situations where you need to make uncomfortable calls of probably letting people go or reducing your products and portfolios. It's not easy being there all alone, where you may not have anyone to discuss this with or get directions from. You have to take those difficult calls. So I urge you, if you have a leader around you and you respect that leader, and if you feel they're alone, just go out and reach out to them and say how you appreciate their presence, how you appreciate their leadership, and that you're there for them in these difficult times to you. Trust me, it'll be so much for them to hear this message from you. So go out, hold a leader's hand, and say you are there for them too.
I was a nurse just yesterday in the game that I was playing with my daughter, where she was obviously the vet in a vet clinic, taking care of all the pet dogs and all the other stuffed toys that she had. And I was being the nurse and her assistant in that entire game. And as I was playing with her, it just made me connect with the thought, or the question really, that somewhere have we lost our inner child? When we have these opportunities to spend time and play and really do funny things, weird things, and just kind of let our hair down, and especially when we have the opportunity and the time, do we connect with our inner child? And that's the first message I wanted to share with you today. But that is what I was reflecting on. And as I was playing this, I was actually performing the surgery on one of her teddies, and suddenly my phone buzzed. And I took a moment to look at it. It was an update on Facebook. It was a notification, and I kind of got into it. It took me more than maybe 15, 20 seconds. And Kyra saw that, and she tapped me on the shoulder, and she said, "What are you doing, Papa? This is not the time for your phone. This is our time. Can you just be with me? And when you have your time, you can be on your phone." And in that moment, I caught myself getting into that trap of, and I think many of us may be getting into that space where while we're at home and while we are with family, because of everything that's happening around, I assume that, and I guess that many of us are spending a lot of time on social media and on our phones, therefore. And I think it's also, and it's important to stay connected to know what's happening, but I think it's equally important to be able to strike that balance, because this is really an opportunity that all of us have to truly spend real time with the people who are around us. And those are really my two messages for you today. Number one, find your inner child, play. And number two, find your balance between being connected with the world outside.
Hi, everyone. So while running today, I had an interesting thought, insight perhaps. I got back to running after a while, and I was getting tired after the first few Ks, and I was getting a little worried about the mark that I'd set for myself, the goal that I'd set for myself, and I was kind of looking up straight ahead, and the road was absolutely straight and nothing in sight. And that started worrying me a bit. And I don't know why, but instinctively I just kind of put my head down a little bit, and I wear this cap. And as I put my head down, I started focusing on the steps immediately in front of me while keeping an eye out till wherever my cap would allow me to see. And that focus on the immediate next steps while having an eye on the horizon just helped me hit my mark. So, and I thought it was quite meaningful, because from time to time I also feel a little overwhelmed with the targets that we've set, with the goals that we have, with the ambiguity that is there. And I guess keeping sometimes your eye on the next few steps very clearly, while once in a while, picking your head up and taking a look at the horizon can be extremely helpful. So I hope this helps you, and all the best in chasing your goals.